Yo, what's up guys? It's James at Smacktalking Amigos, coming to you live from beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee today. And fortunately, we don't have my partner here, Kian, the other Smacktalking Amigo, but we would like to say hi all the way from here for him and how much I'm enjoying just not doing the show with him. It's a really nice thing. He did a great show on Tuesday for you guys, talking about No Mercy and of course about Raw, and I'm going to talk about SmackDown this week. And I think the show was good. I don't know if it's been as good as it was the past few weeks, but it was a good show. Let's talk about what went down. First thing I want to talk about, of course, is Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph won the Intercontinental Championship against all the odds on Sunday night. I think that was something that he needed to do, but he came out this week on SmackDown and said, I've done it. I proved it to myself, I proved it to everyone else, and I've managed to do it, and I've won the title. And then The Miz came out and did a typical heel thing, came out in all black and said, you know, you may have won the title, but it's a sad day for wrestling. Now the Intercontinental title is off at the waist of The Miz. I think he played his part really well, The Miz. The Miz, for me, is the best heel in the WWE at the moment, playing his part that he's playing. I'm a bit disappointed not to see the Intercontinental title around his waist, but I'm very excited to see Dolph still be there, and I'm sure we're going to see a rematch at some point between Dolph and The Miz. I don't think that feud's quite over. Of course, Dolph did fight the Spirit Squad this week. Once again, we saw them back in action. I think they will be a permanent fixture on SmackDown. We need a couple more tag teams, so the Spirit Squad are quite a good go-to tag team. They look pretty good in the ring. They don't look like they've missed a trick. And Kenny Dykstra, obviously, when he was in the Spirit Squad originally, I would say was one of the most talented members, and he still looks super talented. Dolph beat them both. So, as much as they're talented, Dolph did a pretty good job, I think. So that was that. So we saw that. Then we saw, of course, the women sort of fight. Naomi versus Carmella. Brie Bella coming out and interfering. Once again, continuing that storyline. Brie Bella versus Carmella can rumble on. Brilliant match they had last week on the weekend at No Mercy. I'm not sure that we don't need to introduce another female wrestler into the SmackDown division, especially with Becky Lynch having this sort of, we don't know if it's an illness or if it's a previous injury or what it is, but she's going to be out for a little while. She's not vacating the title. I think they made the mistake with Sasha Banks doing that on Raw. They're going to keep it on Becky Lynch's waist. We do wish Becky, of course, a speedy recovery, but I would like to see some more women come up on SmackDown. There's huge success for the women on NXT at the moment. Here comes a car. There we go. Huge success for the women on NXT at the moment. So perhaps they could bring up one of the women from there. I'd love to see, not Nia Jax. I'd love to see Asuka come up. That'd be a fantastic wrestler for SmackDown and for the SmackDown Women's Division. So let's talk about Ellsworth going one-on-one with AJ Styles. Dean Ambrose is a special guest referee. I've said, in my opinion, since the Stone Cold podcast with Dean Ambrose, I haven't been impressed, but this is the first time really that in the past few weeks that I have been a little bit more impressed with Dean Ambrose and how he's been doing. This week, once again, showing his brilliant mic skills, showing him as a referee, winding the hell out of AJ Styles, the new face that runs the place, and not pinning, not counting for AJ Styles, so he couldn't beat James Ellsworth. Delivering a dirty deed, AJ Styles kicks out, so what does Dean Ambrose do? He delivers another dirty deeds onto AJ Styles, and there's a pin by James Ellsworth. All I can say is thank God this wasn't for the title. I think Ellsworth probably will get a title match, and for a wrestler like him, what an amazing thing it is for the Indies to be coming up and to be having that sort of match as a main event on SmackDown. Lastly, I want to talk, of course, about Bray Wyatt, the returning Luke Harper. Luke Harper did return at No Mercy to assist Bray Wyatt in beating Randy Orton. And Randy Orton last night teamed, or the other night teamed with Kane to face Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt. Now, for me, Luke Harper was probably the second most talented member of the Wyatt family. I think that Eric Rowan isn't quite there, and I think that Braun Strowman, as much as he's improved a lot on Raw, once he was part of the Wyatt family, I think he's a bit too green. So Luke Harper is definitely the second best member, and if you watch him in the Indies, he's probably a better wrestler than Bray is. So it was good to see him back. Once again, trickery, lights go out, Kane disappears, Luke Harper's around the other side of the ring, Randy Orton walks straight into Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, Randy Orton is beat again. That is the third time he's been pinned. He got pinned by Bray at No Mercy. He got pinned by Brock Lesnar, or got TKO'd by Brock Lesnar. He also lost to Brock Lesnar at House Show recently. So I think Randy really needs the opportunity to win a few matches. You know, why bring him back and have them on this losing streak? Give Randy Orton a chance to be strong. He can be inserted into the title picture at any point. We do know that he is Randy Orton. But give him the opportunity to be strong, because at the moment he is being booked pretty weak. So for me, next week on SmackDown, what I'd really like to see what happens with Becky. Of course, we want to see who's going to be inserted in there. Will Becky be back next week? Will she maybe come face to face with Alexa Bliss, which is what we would like to see at some point. Will we see Baron Corbin? Now, he did do an interview on WWE Network this week, an exclusive, and saying that he wants to be back on SmackDown. He wants to, you know, sort of have another fight with Jack Swagger. Baron Corbin is really honing his character, and I like that about him. So I'd like to see him there next week. And of course, I want to see the continuation between AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. AJ, my favourite wrestler in the WWE. Dean, once again picking up, showing what he can do. I think he's really improving. I think over the past few weeks he's really stepped up to the plate. Want to see a little bit more of that from Dean Ambrose, because we do trust that he can be as good as what we think he will be. In the meantime, guys, it's been a pleasure to broadcast all the way from lovely Knoxville in Tennessee. Kian, I think that next time we do the predictions, you may as well just not compete, because you know it's getting a bit embarrassing with the whole prediction thing, isn't it? But it's been really good to talk to you guys. We'll see you again next week. I've of course been one half of the Smacktalking Amigos. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you like us, make sure you subscribe to us, make sure you find us at Smacktalking Amigos. Please hashtag Smacktalking Amigos just as much as you can. It really means a lot to us, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks, guys.